Hello and welcome to another Tier List Thursday. Today we are going to talk about the real stuff. The stuff where people say this is the hill I will die on. The most important topic we have ever covered on a tier list. Breakfast cereals. As always on this channel, we do things a certain mathematical way. I will put the algebra again on the screen so far as what this list was based off of. We have taste being the biggest dog in the fight. Versatility, what I mean by versatility is can you eat it with milk or without milk? Can you use it in other cooking recipes and so forth? And binge value, because some things taste great, but after you eat more than like a cup of it, you are sick on the diabetic coma that they are trying to put you in. Now, before we start this list, I do make other content on this channel that you should check out, and if you like what you see, please leave a comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and even consider joining the channel for certain butt stuff related perks. And that's the plug. Let's get right into this list because there are a lot of cereals to cover and a lot of people to piss off and so little time. So we're going to start with Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks fall right into garbage. They're the first ones to join the garbage tier. I don't know why people like this cereal. It can't be done for much, and it doesn't taste that good. No. Boo Berry is joining it right there in garbage. We're starting off with some good old-fashioned sugary garbage, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't need too much explaining. Boo Berry's the berry-themed bastard child of Lucky Charms over there. Captain or Cap'n Crunch. Cap'n Crunch, look, it's literally Cap'n Crunch, like he's capping fools. What the fuck is this? Cap'n Crunch? Who you capping? Or is your cereal cap? Anyway, Cap'n Crunch, without the berries, is just like there. You need the berries in Cap'n Crunch. It's just, I don't even feel that the captain has crunchitized me if he doesn't include the crunch berries. But once you include the crunch berries, you have a pretty decent cereal. It's not the best thing ever. You can't eat it all day, but it could make a good little snack. I like some Cap'n Crunch, but I'm not like going to be super obsessive over Captain Crunch either. Actually, Captain Crunch, what happened here? No, Captain Crunch is B tier, my bad. I was like, wait a minute, I put that in C tier, and this one's actually, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking closely. I have fixed it. C tier, B tier. My bad, Cap'n. Alright, Sprinkled Donut Crunch, I have never had. I don't know what that is. I'm afraid of it. Captain Crunch, oops, all berries. That one is in D tier because that one you will be in a diabetic coma before you finish a spoonful. What was happening? I remember the weird promotional commercials for that back in the 90s, and somehow it still exists. I gotta zoom this out a little bit because there's gonna be some cereals filling this list. There we go. Now we're into Peanut Butter Crunch. Peanut Butter Crunch is absolutely A tier quality. That is the best of the Cap'n cereals. Cap'n, whatever the fuck. Look at all these Captain Crunch cereals just lining up the row. You think they have enough different ones? Well, that's how I view them. The only one that's A tier is that wonderful Peanut Butter Crunch. Then you got Cheerios. Cheerios are one of those, low-key unsung heroes with its versatility of things, but it doesn't taste amazing unless you do other stuff to it, like add strawberries or bananas and stuff. It's kind of just there. So it's C tier, but Cheerios can be made to be like some S tier stuff when you add other stuff. But since I'm just looking at the Cheerios themselves, sure, its versatility score is through the roof, but its plain old taste score is not. Chocolate Cheerios, I've never had. Why does that exist? Frosted Cheerios, I have had, and they're kind of the same feeling that I get with Oops All Berries. Like, why is there so much sugar here where it doesn't need to be? Rice Chex. Rice Chex are solid. They actually taste good on their own. They could be used for a lot of cool stuff as well. Wheat Chex, for some reason, was not in this list. I didn't make this list because I wasn't about to spend that much time. And this list was a pretty comprehensive list, but it doesn't have Wheat Chex for some reason. And I'm a fan of Wheat Chex. They could be used for a lot of stuff. And they make you feel like you ate something healthy even if you didn't. but they're not on the list. But shout out to Wheat Chex. I haven't had blueberry or cinnamon Chex. I haven't had Chips Ahoy. It looks like a Chips Ahoy version of Cookie Crisp. I don't know why it's there. And I haven't had Cinnabon. Why is Cinnabon in cereal form? There's a lot of these that you'll see that they took like really sweet things and turned it into cereal, and I avoid it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think anyone familiar with this channel knows where this is going. This is the S tier god of cereal. Great snack. You could use Cinnamon Toast Crunch for a lot of stuff. It is a beautiful, wonderful creation. We're on to Cocoa Puffs now. Cocoa Puffs are just kind of there. Middle of the row. I'm not cuckoo for them. But then you go to Cookie Crisp. No. It doesn't taste like cookies. It just tastes like something's off. And again, I feel like the people that like these cereals are either still children or have never grown out of a childlike palate and have somehow grown an immunity to just diabetic comas. Like, I know some of my cereals near the top, like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, are pretty sweet, but in comparison to these ones in D tier, they're like health food. It's crazy. At least it tastes that way. I don't know the actual sugar content. They might all be similar and just yield their sugars in different ways. Corn Flakes. We're on to the old Corn Flakes. Corn Flakes are fine. They don't taste that great on their own, but they can be used for useful stuff, and they're refreshing in the morning if you eat it with some fruit and stuff like that. Then you got Pops. Gotta have my Pops. Pops are A tier for sure. Ugh, if you don't like Pops, you're just wrong. They're wonderful. Count Chocula. Ugh, why do people keep buying this shit? Chocolate, marshmallows, like, why is this happening? Cracklin' Oat Brand. I don't know what the fuck that is. Eggos. Why did you make Eggo cereal? Frankenberry I've avoided like the plague. I know what I'd be getting into. I don't want it. French Toast Crunch. This was a 90s cereal that got discontinued. It has a special place in my heart, but being honest, you can't really binge this stuff. It's C tier. It's not where its brother Cinnamon Toast Crunch is. There's a reason it came out and then it went away. I could eat a box of this and be like, ugh, that tasted good and also terrible at the same time. It's really confusing, but yeah, French Toast Crunch, it's a weird thing. Fruit Loops. A lot of people are huge Fruit Loops people. I am not. Fruit Loops is right here with these other cereals where it's like, they're there. You can make them good with other stuff, but no, you can keep it. Frosted Flakes is that A tier life though. Yeah, that's about that. Frosted Flakes is probably one of the sweetest tasting cereals that I have a positive feeling towards. It's very, very, very sweet tasting. All of these are, but like excessively sweet tasting. Yet I still dig it. I don't know what it is with cereals. I don't know how cereals are in the rest of the world. They're probably a lot different than cereals in the US, because cereals in the US are just sugar bombs, except for stuff like Cheerios. And that's what you're getting in for. You're waking yourself up with some diabetes in the morning. Frosted Mini Wheats are actually pretty good, surprisingly. There's something interesting about like the mixture of something that almost tastes healthy and something that tastes like it's going to send you to the grave that's appealing about those. A lot of people will be really mad that that's above stuff like the OG Captain Crunch, Cheerios, and Fruit Loops, but fuck you. This is my tier list, bitch. And we got Golden Crisp. Golden Crisp is also absolutely B tier. People be sleeping on some Golden Crisp. Another version of this that I don't see on here would be Smacks. I didn't see Diggums, the Frog, and Smacks, but Golden Crisp and Smacks are essentially the same thing. I can't even tell the difference if you put them side by side, but I like them both. On the other hand, you have Golden Grams, which are F tier. The first one in the F tier. No. And wait a minute. This is a late change in the game, but these guys aren't garbage tier. These were both F tier. We don't have anyone in garbage just yet. Man, I was on my distracted game at the start of this, but we'll don't worry. We'll put some people in garbage. We'll get there. But these guys are F tier, not garbage tier. Anyway, back to the scheduled programming. Honey Bunches of Oats, because I don't know what Gorilla Munch is. Honey Bunches of Oats are just, It's like trying to be sweet and healthy, and it doesn't work as well as some other things doing it. Honeycomb. Honeycomb is that S tier life, okay? Honeycomb is bae. Honeycomb tastes so amazing. You want honeycomb, me want honeycomb. Honey Nut Cheerios are that A tier. And if you be disrespecting Honey Nut Cheerios, you can get the fuck out. Because Honey Nut Cheerios are bomb as hell. I don't know what donuts are. It sounds really gross. Go lean, go fuck yourself. Kicks. Kicks are pretty solid. And they're not overtly sweet. Well, at least to an American palate. I think to someone outside of the United States, they'd probably still taste overtly sweet. But to me, they taste like a mild hint of sweet. And I like it. Crave cereal, I have no interest in trying. This is Life Cinnamon. I haven't had Life Cinnamon, but regular life I have had, and it is just, it's there. It's actually a lot better than people give it credit for a lot of the times, but yeah. I don't know what Lucio O's are. What the fuck is that? Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms, A tier. They're almost S tier, but the problem with Lucky Charms is, like, I can't eat a bunch of Lucky Charms. I could eat a bowl, and then I'm like, out. It's too much. Taste-wise, you know my boy Lucky Charms got a perfect 5, but they're not very versatile. You can't eat Lucky Charms very many different ways, and they don't have a good binge value. So while they taste amazing, and they might be the best tasting breakfast cereal here, we're not only going by taste. There's something magically delicious about Lucky Charms, and just the whole vibe of them, and they're probably the best cereal in my top tier with milk, because a lot of times I just like to eat cereal as a snack without milk, but with milk, Lucky Charms is just like next level. So I'm not trying to show any disrespect to Lucky Charms, but for the sake of the mathematical equation and the things that I found valuable in cereal, taste being 70%, Lucky Charms did not break out of A tier. But in my heart, as just a strictly breakfast with milk cereal, without considering any other usages of cereal, it's S tier. But we are considering cereal as a whole, as it could be used in all aspects of life, whether it be snacks, recipes, etc. And in that, Lucky Charms falls flat. Now you might be thinking, well, how can Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Honeycomb be used in all those forms? Well, for one, both Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Honeycomb you could put that shit in like a Ziploc bag and just eat it. No milk or anything required. It tastes amazing anyway, especially Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The other thing is, like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you could get real creative with if you want to crunch it up and use it as like a breading on other stuff. Not so much with Honeycomb. Really, the reason they're S tier and Lucky Charms is because they taste good without milk. That's what it came down to, Lucky Charms fans. Moving on. Nutter Butter. Never had it because I know. I've been hurt before. I didn't need to be hurt again. Oreo O's are F tier. They give you a nice impression the first bite, and you're like, oh, this tastes like Oreos. And then you're like, oh, fuck, this really tastes like Oreos the whole time. Please make it stop. Then you have Cocoa Pebbles, meh. Fruity Pebbles, slightly less meh. Pop-Tart cereal, hell no. Raisin Bran, throw it in the trash. Wait, where did it go? Where did Raisin Bran just try to sneak to? No, you're not F tier. Go to the trash. Throw it away. If you eat Raisin Bran, get help. And then Raisin Bran tries this crunch version to try to like sneak into it, saying, no, we're actually good. Fuck you, Raisin Bran. Get raisins out of my cereal. Raisin Bran is trash. People who defend Raisin Bran need help. They need medical attention. If you are under the age of 65 and enjoy Raisin Bran, you need to have your taste buds analyzed. You might have tongue cancer. Stop supporting Raisin Bran if you are not retired. Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs, A tier. Reese's Puffs was also very close to S tier in its magical glory, but it's really hard to eat a lot of Reese's Puffs because they're pretty sweet by the time you get through them. Now, obviously, the difference between A tier and S tier is not a lot. All of these cereals up here are bomb diggity bomb. Rice Krispies. Rice Krispies are that nice B tier. You can make some Rice Krispie treats out of them. Rice Krispies are pretty dope. Cocoa Krispies, on the other hand, are a lot more like, you know, Cocoa Pebbles, but I think a little better than Cocoa Pebbles. And then you have this s'more cereal, which I actually did try. And yeah, it's not as bad as some other stuff because it tastes really good, but after you've had a couple bites, you're done. Sour Patch Kids, no, why is that a cereal? Special K, throw it in the fucking garbage. Special K, you know, whatever this fruit version is, throw it in the fucking garbage. Mini Wheats, I don't think I've had these. The strawberry version is what this is. Okay, moving on to Trix. Trix is that B tier life. Trix is pretty good. A lot of people be sleeping on Trix, and they even brought back you know what? They brought back the fruit shapes. They're moving up to A tier because they went to like the stupid spheres for a while, and that's kind of what I was thinking of when I thought Trix. But I swear, when they're actually in the fruit shapes, they taste better. So Trix is getting promoted to A tier. And you know what? Fuck this. Trix, you could put in a Ziploc and eat all day without milk. Trix just went up 2 levels because just while I was making this, I thought about Trix and I was looking at my score for, you know, taste and versatility. And my versatility and binge value were definitely reflective. I'm changing it right now. They were definitely reflective of Trix as the spheres. But I'm sorry, Trix as the fruit shapes, which they have gone back to, is a whole different level of Trix. And that is S tier. Trix as the spheres only, B tier. That is the difference. I don't care what you say, there's something about the way the texture works when it's the little fruit shapes that make it taste better without milk and just make the whole experience more wonderful. Trix just jumped up to S tier because they went back to the fruit shapes. They learned from the error of their ways. Waffle Crisp. Waffle Crisp is D tier. It tastes like maple syrup with texture. It's great for a bite and then you're done. And then Wheaties. Wheaties is F tier. Why would I don't want Wheaties. You don't want Wheaties. Nobody really wants Wheaties. Anyway, this is my list of the cereals, with a bunch of them I've never had because I value my sanity sometimes. And yeah, leave comments about the rage you are undoubtedly feeling in your soul if I just shit on your breakfast cereal of choice. And until next time, I scheme, you scheme, we all scheme for ice cream and cereal, apparently. Bye!